And welcome back to the Rock Shop Podcast. Joining me today is.
Hey, this is regular David here. We don't have RJ with us. I guess his space shuttle ran out of Wi-Fi this week, so he won't be joining us.
Yeah, I was about to say it's very empty in here. It's
So
very empty, man. I haven't seen the Rock Shop this empty since 2 months ago, since I kicked everyone out and then didn't record.
the rock shop. I wonder how you stay afloat in the rock shop. It seems like every so often you're only open for like two hours, and then we don't hear from it for another month or two.
Yeah, so let's uh let's edit in some talking points that's going to be relevant in 2 months when I decide to finally upload this video. What's going to be really important in July 2023?
I just can't believe that somehow, some way, we actually got Joe Biden out of office, and for some reason, Tickle Me Elmo is now running for the presidency. 4th of July just happened. Very patriotic day. We had Tickle Me Elmo with Big Bird as the vice president and the secretary of um, the Treasury being I don't know, Big Bert and Ernie. They both got one. Austin Grouch is now our Secretary of Defense. So
That happened.
now they're all into Muppet necking.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a wild time. Remember the good old days of May 11th, 2023?
Mm,
Simple times, truly.
I was watching a YouTube video today, and they're trying to find the history of the Disney Channel theme song, but dun 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 dun, and they're trying to find out who made it. Well, they went back and saw like because around 2022, September 2020, sorry, 2002, September 2002 is when they released that theme song for the first time. So when he was looking for it, he was like trying to look through like episodes around that time, and there was a bunch of like just like year in review of all the Disney Channel cast talking about 9/11, where like there's I think his name is Orlando Brown, the guy who plays on That's So Raven, and he was like, yeah, he's like, and a bunch of my friends, people look at them differently ever since the whole 9/11 thing, just the whole 9/11 thing, and then like there's one kid who's like maybe 11 years old. He's like, yeah, it's all I've talked about the past years is 9/11.
I hope you notice, and the listeners will definitely notice because this was a very audible thing that happened. But did you see the face I made when you said you saw the Defunct Land video on Disney Channel's, like who made the
Yeah, I
is it
love Defunct Land. That's like it's been my guilty pleasure to watch. Just like stuff that like I didn't even think I wanted to know, but now I do want to know. Like when they were talking to like one of the executives that was like behind marketing for Disney Channel, and then she says, "Yeah, actually, a year and a half before Nemo Finding Nemo was even like announced and released, we were putting facts about fish on Disney Channel." So kids can see facts about fish. So whenever we did release Nemo, people were interested in fish, and I was like, "That's so wild that there was subliminally like putting that into kids' minds about fish before the movie or it was even released and came out." Disney's
But
just it's weird.
the weirdest thing, no, no. Did you see the face I made when you're like, "Yeah, I watched that Defunct Land video"?
No.
It was like I did. I like made a soy face. It was a little embarrassing. Thankfully, this is on a podcast, but I'm gonna show something on screen here that the listeners will really like. Look at the most recent video I watched.
Oh, it's the Disney Channel.
It was literally that. I literally watched that probably when you were watching as well, but I didn't finish.
Yeah,
I didn't get that far.
I was watching it while filing paper at work today. So
I was grilling a Bubba burger and I was listening to it, and then I screwed up, so I had to make another. I know that's super weird, man. Yeah, because it came up on my page as well. Like I was like, okay,
I'm
sure,
gonna stop my video real quick. I can still talk.
sure.
There's the video.
I was watching Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. reviews, and then like it randomly was like, oh, you want to watch Disney Channel's history? I was like, okay, I guess whatever.
I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I put it on my wedding registry though for for Nintendo Switch. Um, but I've heard I know my roommate Terry, he like bought the Japanese digital copy for his Switch so he could play it earlier than most people. So if Nintendo ever watches this, I don't want to dox him or anything.
Yeah, his. Oh, you mean your roommate Blairy?
Yeah, Blairy.
Damn it, Blairy.
Blairy just does it all the time. Just in there, he keeps modding Nintendo games. He keeps getting early access stuff. It's ridiculous.
Well, um, yeah, when Nintendo became like the world's most powerful military in June 2023, I didn't see that coming a few weeks ago. Their spy network was exposed.
They actually made real Pokemon. It was very scary.
Yeah, but they only made Mudkips and like EVs and like Gardevoir. So
Oh,
yeah, that was pretty disturbing. I mean, I wonder why it was like only those.
it's
Buneri, yeah.
Lopunny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it
And
kind of
then
makes you wonder why they chose those.
Pokemon Train Your Ass Ketchup.
Yeah, and then suddenly Japan's birth rate became the highest in the world. You know, what the heck was up with that?
No one saw it coming.
Well, someone saw someone coming.
Yeah, Gardevoir.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird moment in history.
So you told me you got an anecdote to tell today. Got some fun stories for me.
I do. Back in May 2023. Actually, this is April 2023. Yeah, it's a work story. Hey, can I dox your fiance? I
Yeah.
said, hi, New York City. We'll,
Ryan says hello, New York City.
we'll call her Albany for now, Utica.
Dude, I
Yeah,
don't even know where Utica is.
it's
It's like
uh,
I think you made that up.
no,
Like
that's New York.
it's like the box milk of New York cities.
You know what they call hamburgers in upstate New York? Actually,
What do they call them?
steamed hams.
I think you mean steamed clams.
No, 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 steamed hams.
So what could you have possibly done?
Work's been pretty difficult, and it's unfortunate, but it's just like staffing issues and stuff like that. So I've been under stress, and the nature of the job is you have to deal with people a lot constantly. All right, I'm not gonna say what it is or whatever. Not that most of the listeners really care, but you never know. Whatever. Anyway, so it's been super stressful, and I was definitely feeling it a few weeks ago. Basically, we have like some people at work, and I've had to like everyone's had to like deal with it.
Mhm.
Um, it's just pretty hard. But basically, I was working and I made something for someone, and I didn't think anything of it. I think I was just have apologizing, like, "Hey, sorry, I'm not really into it today. It's just tough. I was working like alone that day, um, and it was a long day. Whatever. But some people were pretty, like, hey, you're like hang in there, right? So the next day, I get an email um that was really devastating. Well, I'm being a little dramatic. It was like, ah, shit, this is not going to be great, and it's like not the end of the world or anything, but it's like, ah, jeez. But right before, one of my workers was like, "Hey, phone for you." So I pick it up, and it's just the guy saying like, "Hey, do you remember me? I'm the guy yesterday with a thing." I'm like, "Okay, sure. How can I help you? Whatever." And then I get this email, and I can't even like think straight because then I had to get like my boss involved. It was the whole thing. Um, but anyway, so I get this terrible email, and I'm completely out of it, and he's just on the line going like, I'll cut to the chase. You did a really great job yesterday. I mean, you rocked it. My intern is gonna pick up some Wendy's. What do you want?
Wendy's
And
nuts.
yeah. Um, so I always read the email, so it's kind of like in and out of it. But I just like I didn't even know what to do. I just like thanked them. Asked like my one guy or two working there, like, what do you want? Oh, Baconair. I was like, hey, Jim, give me a Baconair, whatever. Got his number, thanked him, and immediately started doing damage control over this like separate issue. Um, had to talk to people. Later on, I see that the Wendy's bag is there, and I was gonna throw it out, but I look inside, and there's like 6 burgers in there, 6 Baconators. I was like, holy shit! And they're like, no, I really gotta call them back. So I call them back, and things were being handled. I was like, calm down. There's a lot going on, calm down. But I call them up and I kind of apologize, like, sorry, it's kind of out of our conversation. But yes, I just saw what you brought, and it means a lot. That was really nice of you. That whole thing, he's like, hey man, don't worry about it. And we talk for a bit, and I say, or he says, yeah, man, you know, everyone's going through something right now. Like, hey, you got my number, hit me up if you want to go get coffee or something. I'm like, okay. Talked about his business a little bit, and he kind of jogged my memory. I was trying to be subtle, who he was. And later on, he says, like, we're kind of wrapping things up again, and he's like, yeah, man, if you ever want to get coffee, hit me up. We could schedule something. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking like, okay, he said it again. Okay. So, I think I comment, on something else. And we're wrapping things up for like a third time. And he says, uh, yeah, it was great talking, but yeah, let me know if you ever want to get coffee sometime. And he takes a beat. I don't say anything. He takes a beat and he says, there's nothing strange about two grown men sharing a coffee. And I think that was verbatim too.
I think he may be trying to go on a date with you, Ryan.
Yeah, it was like 40 or 50. Like I could not remember who this guy was, but he was like an engineer or something.
You made quite an impression on him, Ryan. It looks like if you mean you were talking about in the last podcast about your female issues. Well, I've never heard you have a male issue before, so
Well, fuck FedEx and UPS. I do have mail issues.
return to sender. It just seems like it really, and for me, I would have been so uncomfortable because at my job too, people, since I go in to work at like 6 o'clock in the morning, a lot of people would be like, hey, like, oh, do you want me to buy you coffee? Which I always say no because I just don't. Although I should probably trust people, I don't just trust a stranger to hand me a drink and drink it.
Yeah.
So, like, it's even weirder though for a person to call you back up. And he seems, I mean, he's been trying to woo you. He got you 6 Baconators and trying to get you coffee too. So that's the first and second date there, Ryan. And the third date, you're gonna start putting out. So he's got to keep that in mind for if you ever see any of his advances in the future.
Yeah, it's just super weird because I remember the guy. He was like 40 or his 40s or 50s. And Andrew told him that story. He loves it. He made me tell his boss, who like was like dying when I told him. But just I don't know. Like I told someone else about it, and they're like, "Yeah, so what? Like you just want to try to be nice." And they're like, "Yeah, it's a little weird." And he's like, "Yeah, well, you know, you
He's like,
should
yeah,
take him up on the offer. You complain about people not being around to hang out with. It's like,
He's
yeah,
like,
thanks.
he's like, yeah, well, can I get his number instead?
Yeah, but yeah, so he says, yeah, there's nothing strange about two grown men sharing a coffee.
And he's trying to be your sugar daddy.
Um,
Like,
and I just took a beat, and I think I laughed as like, no, yeah, you're right. There is nothing strange about two grown men sharing a coffee.
yeah. In unrelated news, I got a love letter at work today. No,
Yeah,
I didn't, babe. It wasn't me who got it. It was him. It was a metaphorical story. I didn't get a love letter.
yeah, but that was my story. Yeah, just kind of strange. I don't even think I gave great customer service with them to
I
begin with.
mean,
But
you may give great customer service after the coffee. Who knows?
yeah, um, yeah. I mean, I don't think I even gave that great customer service just because I was really exhausted. But I still remember getting out the call and looking at the burger. As like, I don't know if I want to eat this anymore. Hmm.
I didn't order
And then I
mayonnaise.
ate it. Then I ate it anyway, but it was soggy.
Mm.
I like threw it in a
Like that.
microwave, and
I
like
don't
the
like that.
bread was chewy or whatever. The bread was gross.
Like we got the baconator at home. Baconator at home.
It was like the damn nasty patty from the SpongeBob.
I'm surprised. Like I honestly, I don't think I'd ever eat or drink something that a person would get me at my work. Like if one of the patients just came up and like said, here's a burger, here's a drink, I would not touch it. Like even if they mean the best, I would not want to touch it. Sometimes people come in like will make like cupcakes or cookies, and I never have them because I'm like I like don't know this person that well. Like it's different when an employee like a coworker does it, but like if a random person that like I've only met like one time does, I'm not going to eat their food or drink the game. I just think that's like a little past the line there. Get Good old Bill Cosby.
There's a client, and I'll say it rarely happens for me too. But there's a client that comes in now and then. But dealing with her is just very challenging. Just like the nature of what she needs. It's always like you can get through it, but sometimes it takes like a while. Like once when she came in, it took like an hour one day till the end of the workday, and then she came in like at open, and then it took like 2 hours because it was just like never up to her standard, and she knew it was like gonna take like a while to make this. Um, but I was like, I was pretty chill. I was like, okay, I'll just keep doing this like forever. You know what I mean? But she got us half a dozen donuts at Mochi Nut. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Mochi Nut.
I'm very intrigued actually to know what mochi nut is.
I think you'd like it. I'm shocked there's not one in like Tallahassee, but it's a Korean fast food chain. Basically, it's Korean hot dogs, so you can get glizzies.
Uh
Actually,
oh,
hold
hot
on.
dog.
What?
I said hot dog.
K dog, you mean?
Hot
Oh yeah.
dog.
Hot dog. Yeah, dude, I completely forgot about that. Dang. Hold on. We're gonna look up Mochi Nuts fucking menu here because this is to be seen to believe. But their donut, it's basically a donut thing, but I'm gonna show you what it is. But like she had to practically refinance her damn house to pay for these like 6 donuts because it's like $4 a donut.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but it's like I'll show you real quick.
Go to Dunkin'. Dunkin's like 9.99 for a dozen.
All right, check this out. You see
What
this?
the? It's like little anal bead donuts.
So, they're like mochi balls. So there's like a custard
Oh,
thing.
okay. That makes sense.
So they're like these little like um I don't know, like
One's just Nutella. This is all Nutella.
yeah, but you could get like ube.
Ube, yuzu. I like
Um,
matcha, but the matcha one doesn't look like it looks like a dog turd almost.
it's like not bad, but I would not spend like $4 for one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It just looks like, I mean, it looks like it's like 3 or 4 like munchkins put into one donut.
So okay, mochi ball. So this is basically like what's on the inside, but it's like they're connected dough rings. So like you bite into it, and there's like this stuff inside. You know what I mean?
It's like everything. It's basically just like a filled donut hole almost.
Yeah, but it's all. Hold on. No, this isn't it. Yeah, but it's like cooked together. So yeah, it's not bad, but $4 for ones. But they also sell these corn dogs, dude. Like a potato.
Actually, that hot Cheetos one looks like would be pretty good.
You can get like half dog, half mozzarella.
That does sound really good. I don't know if I would want crunch cereal or crispy ramen, but like cheddar cheese for sure. Potato sounds like it would be good, but hot Cheetos hot dog sounds actually, it sounds like something I would devour at a carnival.
Yeah, exactly. It's like carnival food, and it's really like it's awesome when they're making it and you're like outside because it smells like carnival basically.
I would absolutely demolish that glizzy.
But basically, so it says on the bottom here, varied by location. So the one by me, they have like a blue Takis corn
Oh,
dog.
they have the blue Takis. Ooh.
Blue
Actually,
Takis, and they got like a oh, what's that? They got like a fruit pebbles dog.
a fruity pebble. How I don't know how fruity pebbles would taste with a hot dog though.
I don't know, but their glizzies are crazy. I've had one because when they opened, they gave us like a ton for free just to try it. I have had one. I did like it. I think I had the potato original. I was like, that was pretty good. But then they have like these what do you call these
This is
things?
boba.
Yeah, boba drinks.
There's some
Uh,
straight brown sugar. Ooh, the desserts look good too.
I don't know how much it'd be, but honestly, what a weird menu, dude. Because it's like donuts,
Donuts, hot
chocolate
dogs, and
ice
ice cream.
cream.
I told it sounds exactly like a carnival. It just sounds like carnival food. You get your fried food, you got your hot dogs, your corn dogs, you got some soft serve ice cream.
About us. Yeah, mochi nut.
And it is weird that they do just sell boba too. But I guess like you're Korean, but I don't.
It's from Hawaii and Japanese mochi, but maybe I'm a dumbass. Maybe it was never Korean, but they play like K-pop. They play K-pop in there. Um, and then like I know Korean hot dog is a thing. That's why I thought they were doing, but I don't know.
It says Korean on the thing, like on the
Did it?
description. Yeah, if you scroll down, it says like Korean rice flour hot dogs. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the guy's name is like Jao Wook, like, which I'm pretty sure is the same name as like somebody from BTS.
I mean, yeah, I was thinking that too. Like it sounded like a Korean originating name, but I also didn't want to sound like a dumbass.
Now, big BTS stan I am.
Um, yeah, mochi nut. I'm surprised there are like none around you.
Well, if I make it big, I'll open one up.
You're getting Wawas. I'm so
Yeah.
jealous.
Oh, I'm so happy about that Wawa.
When's that opening up?
It opens up sometime next year, but as somebody who like went to up north Maryland, Pennsylvania area growing up a lot, oh, getting those hoagies, buffalo mac and cheese, oh, it's gonna taste so good. I'm so excited. I know they have one in Gainesville. They have a bunch in Jacksonville now. They're like all up and
Yeah.
down the East Coast. I know they have one in Kissimmee in Florida. But the fact that they're making one in Tallahassee makes me so excited. Like I'm so blessed.
Yeah, I hope it's open by the time I'm over there on an unspecified date in June.
Ooh.
I hope, yeah, I hope Hope there's gonna be one open by then, but they just opened a Whataburger by my house, by some places I used to hang out around. But you cannot get one without like a 40-minute wait, drive through only.
Yeah, it's like they just opened up the Raising Canes here on Tennessee Street. So like it's like the line. I mean, they have a ginormous drive-through line. I like not just a car. Like they set up for a ginormous drive-through line. I haven't seen it maxed out, but they did open up like a week before college let out. So, but I
Where did
mean,
it open? Like,
it
what is the place?
opened up near where the auto parts store used to be, next to where Relish is in the Waffle House on the corner of Ocala and Tennessee, near like Target.
Sure. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm not a big fan of Raising Cane's, to be
It's
honest.
like I think it's literally right across the street from Guthrie's. So,
Yeah. And Guthrie's is like way better. I'd have that any
oh, I
day.
love Guthrie's. I would not go to Raising Cane just because I'd rather Guthrie's is a local place, and I don't think there's any reason to go to Raising. I've never had Raising Canes. Like maybe I'd go there once, but like I Guthrie's is probably still my number one choice if I want to eat chicken nugget and fried chicken at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's so much, first of all, it's so much better. I mean, Raising Cane's is fine. It's just to me like a carbon copy of Zaxby's. Like it's just Zaxby's.
I think if we do a tier list anytime, I think I would love to do a chicken place tier list. Granted, I don't think Guthrie's is going to be on there. Brooklyn, she's from Alabama, and Alabama has this huge place called Fuzakli's, and it's actually it is really good. But like I don't know how far they branched out. I just know there are a couple of places in Alabama near Mobile, so it's actually really good.
I've never heard of Fuzakli's, and I don't really know what a Fuzakli is exactly.
I have no idea what it is, but all I know is their chicken was good. So they have really good sauce there too.
Hmm. Okay. I really want to do like this would never pertain to you, or like you would just not understand. But Andrew and one other guy, Andrew and I are friends with, we're trying to like wrangle this other guy Cole to come on to do a Mall of Georgia food court tier list. It's it's chaotic, dude. It's like, I mean, not really, but it's like they've got your standards like Taco Bell and the Sabaro that for some reason is still open. Then they have like weird local ones. I guess I don't know, like places. Oh, they just have a lot. Like they have a Philly cheesesteak place from a cheesesteak chain I've never heard
Is
of.
it Charlie's?
I think it is Charlie's.
Usually a bunch of malls like in McDonald's will have like Charlie's inside of their restaurants.
I didn't. Yeah, okay. I do like a cheesesteak, but I've never had like Charlie's. They got, what I really love is they have something called Fat Tuesdays.
Ooh.
Have
So
you ever
some
heard of that?
no, it sounds like some like Creole food, I'd assume.
It's Creole, but there's no food. It's a chain in New Orleans. There are just a ton of them all on Bourbon Street. They only sell daiquiris, so it's just straight up a daiquiri bar in the middle of the
In the
food court.
in the
No
middle of the
food.
food court. Nothing like your basic like 50-year-old alcoholic mother like dragging her like for some reason she has a 10-year-old kid, she's like dragging her 10-year-old kid through JC Penney's while holding a frozen strawberry daiquiri in her other hand.
I'm gonna see Wizard of Oz in the theater on Sunday. They got like $5, and I want, it's something I think it'd be neat to see on the big screen. That just gave me an idea. I should just like Uber over and just load up on Fat Tuesdays and like get stupid in that theater, man.
It would be just like the time you decided to do the drink right before we watched Grave of the Fireflies. Was it Grave of the Fireflies when you were starting?
No,
No,
I
it
wasn't.
was Rocket Man. It was Rocket Man. And you started laughing because he's like, I'm an alcoholic. And you're like,
I was like, that's relatable. Wow, man, I feel.
I'm a sex addict.
Yeah, good times. But I didn't drink. I didn't pregame for that. I pregamed for the Jimmy Buffett cover band.
Yeah. The Jimmy Buffett cover band that had 4 Jimmy Buffett songs. They just kept playing it on loop.
I heard afterwards, like it was so lame that afterwards they just gave up the act and started like seeing like A Punk,
Probably,
Vampire Weekend.
I bet more people will probably go watch that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're getting paid. I don't know how much they're getting paid to do that, but like, I mean, that's where our tuition money was going to at FSU. So, I
Wait,
mean,
you guys are getting paid?
right? Maybe they weren't getting paid. Maybe they just wanted the free publicity of just being a cover band for Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, good times, dude.
All right. So here's a story I'll have for you. Ooh.
So we're
Okay.
talking about Scooby Doo. I just want to bring this up. They had a multiversal crossover in a comic book. Were you aware of this?
No, I see regular Scooby. I see a pup named Scooby Doo.
So this was Scooby Apocalypse, which was a super edge reimagining of the Mystery Inc. And they gotta like get laser guns and shoot up the monsters or ghosts or whatever. But then they have like this multiverse thing where you have Be Cool Scooby Doo, and that was the design. Like this dude. See, look at like what Daphne's packing, bro.
Which is a whole like Tommy gun.
Yeah, pretty much. But look at that down here where the mouse is.
Oh, they actually have the live action one.
Yeah, the name Scooby Doo. Be cool. The red shirt one.
Oh, I think they did the live action one for like all of them because I see the live action played by Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah,
and
well, for all of them, yeah.
yeah, and Sarah Michelle Gellar's Daphne,
There's Mystery Incorporated,
Mystery Incorporated.
yeah, classic era. Um, yeah, not a lot of people know about that. I just think I don't know. It's a fun crossover they did.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to get the Velma crossover.
Oh, gross. This was like 2019, I think, when it came out.
My favorite show. I just sit there sometimes, make a nice peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich, sit on the couch, and watch all the series of Velma on repeat.
Wow, every word of that sentence hurt me.
Jinkies.
Wow. But anyway, thought that tied into what we were talking about before we went on break. But anyway, as we were
So
saying,
yeah, so I was gonna say, when do you ever look back at like any kind of movie, like or movie character, and like for some reason, like although like no one really cares about them, or people may actually really like them, for some reason you just have a very hatred, personal vendetta towards them.
just like a character I hate in a movie. Yeah, I'm like trying to think of one right now that like really pissed me off, but I'm sure you have one on your mind.
Oh, 100%. And it's actually I actually don't like the movie because of it. It's a
Okay.
little known movie called Stuart Little.
I've never actually seen it. I've seen bits and pieces, but I never watched the full thing.
So Michael J. Fox from such hits as Back to the Future, Teen Wolf plays an animated mouse. Said mouse grows up in an orphanage, and then a family who the father is, it's Doctor House. Um, I mean, the actor plays Doctor House. They are one to adopt a child, and so they go to the orphanage. They look at the children to adopt, and then instead of adopting one of the children, they adopt the mouse, the Stuart Little. And then he goes through a bunch of hijinks in New York City, yada yada yada. But I have a personal vendetta against the movie just for the fact that there are kids who are like, oh, been in that orphanage from the time they're like 3 years old and they're like 16, 17. No one's wanted them. Like they've gone through all this stuff. Their families probably died. That's probably why they're there. Gone through drugs. It's New York City. Who knows? And for some reason, a family's going to come in, dangle the carrot in front of their face and go, haha, just kidding. We want to take the mouse out of all the kids there. And I just think as a concept for a movie, it's just so messed up to me. And so I have this personal hatred towards Stuart Little just because I just feel like maybe it's not his fault, but like if you're a mouse, why go to an orphanage? Like, just live on the streets. You're a mouse. Like, stop trying to steal like adoptions away from kids. That's kind of messed up. Honestly, it makes me feel that Stuart Little may be the bad guy of the movie Stuart Little. And it didn't help they had like two other sequels. Like they had a direct sequel, and then they had a weird animated third movie of Stuart Little that's all animated.
It's cell
So
shaded. I think that was a Walmart exclusive. I remember that for some reason.
I just remember my family got it for us to watch on our way for like car trips. We had that. We had Doctor Doolittle 3, I believe. That's the one with his daughter. And then we had My Friends Tigger and Pooh. So it's
I
Stuart
think.
Little.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I said, but Stuart Little, I don't like that mouse. Like if people keep saying like if him and Remy from Ratatouille were to go in a 1v1 fight, who would win? I would hope that Ratatouille would win hands down. Absolute demolish him.
I think a character for me would be the mom in Home Alone, where she just pisses me off.
Yeah,
But I
I
don't even
agree.
like that movie, so
Well, I agree. I think that's like the mom. You'd think after the first time she'd be a little bit more suspicious, but there's what 5, 6 movies of Home Alone. So you think at some point Kevin McAllister's mom would just realize like maybe I need to like actually watch my children. And granted, like yeah, sure, she did all she could to get back like to Kevin like by the end of the movies, but still like how you gonna sit there and leave your child multiple times?
I love in CSU there were a group of guys and they made a whole Instagram kind of like joke account because of their hatred of Grandpa Joe and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one. And I look at the posts and they're pretty funny because it's a good point because it's like this guy really is a piece of shit. So he's like just leeching off his poor family, being bedridden and shit. And um, what's his name? Charlie gets like an allowance or gets like pocket change or whatever, and he tries to fund his grandpa's like smoking habits, and his mom's like, "No, Charlie, no," and the grandpa's like, "Oh, thanks, kid." But the second Charlie gets like the factory ticket, the golden ticket, he's up on his ass and he's moving around. He's like, "Let's go."
Yeah, I mean, also like he worked in that chocolate factory too, apparently, right? Like that was like the story. Like his grandfather used to work at that chocolate factory. Isn't that
I
like I haven't seen that movie, so I just remember like I'm pretty sure he worked at the chocolate factory, so he could have warned those kids of all like the messed up stuff inside the chocolate factory. Like
He was complicit.
one person literally got dragged down a hole by a bunch of like squirrels. One person swelled up like a blueberry. So like
Well, that doesn't even make sense because like he fell for a trap himself. He like drank the thing that makes you burp. So what was he doing?
he's playing the long game because that's like drinking the thing that makes you burp is definitely a lot less worse than getting mauled by a bunch of squirrels or like blown
No,
up like a blueberry.
they almost got chopped up by like an industrial fan. He's like, let me just drink this so I'll hover. Remember that?
But then at the end, luckily Charlie got the keys to the chocolate factory. So
Yeah. No, no, not at the end. At the end, they like get in an elevator and it fucking like shoots into orbit. Remember, that's how RJ got sent to space.
yeah, we sent him to Charlie's chocolate factory with the grandpa who likes to sleep next to feet.
No, don't you remember that was literally the ending of the original movie? Is because there's like a sequel book where they're in space, but like they get in an elevator and it just like shoots them into like. You don't remember that?
No, I think it's crazy though. You have a whole brand of like candy based off of a book.
Yeah, it is strange. Well, the sequel book, I've never read it, but like apparently it's really weird. Like, yeah, the original movie it ends with them like getting in an elevator, like I said, and the elevator is like goes up, but it keeps him going up, and it like breaks out of the like factory, and you like pretzel, and you just watch like the elevator just like fly. keep
I think
ascending, you know.
it was like definitely in like the weird era of like live action movies that had like those like visual like the visual gags and stuff. Like I feel like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory visual gag I put on the same level as like the visual gags that were in like Cat in the Hat live action. I feel
Well,
like
I'm not talking about like the '05 one or whatever, the Tim Burton
oh
one.
you're talking about the one with Gene Wilder.
The original, yeah. I saw the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one like when it came out. I know that. I remember being in a theater, but I don't. I think I probably saw it once in grade school, but I'm talking about the like Gene Wilder one. Yeah,
I never saw the original one. I just know like the memes from it and the songs from it.
it's a delightful film.
I have to give it a watch sometime if I could find it somewhere. Probably can find it
I
on, like Hulu.
I love it. Like I love it's really weird, but
I heard it's apparently really dark too, and Gene Wilder, his character, like he went got really into character and actually scared some of the kids on set.
he did. But there's like a scary scene that's like scary if you're like 12, but not if you're like a grown adult. My dad has seen the remake. He had never watched the original, and apparently he just watched it on TV like a year ago or something. And he's
Mm.
like, I have no idea what I just watched because it's like a '60s acid trip, basically. I love it.
I mean, that makes sense. There was again, I feel like there are a lot of like visual gags like that. That makes sense. There's a movie based on a book or a little short story. It's called Flowers for Algernon. I'm not sure if you ever
Uh,
had. Yeah, and they
yeah,
made us. There was like a movie they made to it. So when we read this like short story in our language English arts book in like eighth grade, we had to watch the movie that was based on the book. And at one part in the movie, like he takes some sort of like drug and just like, goes on like a weird acid trip, and like there's like a bunch of bikers and then he proceeds to try to sexually harass like the girl he has a crush on. But then like 5 minutes after she said no, like 5 minutes later she was okay with it. As it was a it's a very weird experience as like an eighth grader going ahead and watching that.
I
Oddly enough,
remember.
another movie that deals with a mouse. So
I remember liking that book, but I distinctly remember that's crazy you say that. Yeah, I was sick for like the 2 days they were watching the movie, so I didn't watch it.
one of the weirdest movies like I've ever seen. Now, obviously, being eighth grade, we like kind of memed on the book, although it was a pretty good book. Like it really is a sad story to like because like obviously like Charlie Gordon was like comparable to Algernon in the fact they're both just getting the same experience on them. They both like became smart when they were both supposed to be dumb, and then like after becoming smart, they slowly started back declining back down to being dumb again, and then they just die.
Well, I love how it's like. Sorry, I'm just looking at IMDb at the movie. Came out in the year 2000, but I love. I think it's really smart with like its use of like first person. You could like physically
Right, you can see
see
like
it
where he got
going.
smarter, and then where he's starting to slowly get back to being dumber again. It really is a great piece of literature. It's just unfortunate that like a bunch of eighth graders are pretty immature. So like having a character that has like is like mentally slow. A lot of people were just kind of meme on him back then. But like being a more mature person now, at least I'd like to think I am. Like like looking back on the themes of that book, it's actually I'd say it's actually really good literature, pretty powerful literature, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't read that much. So
Yeah, I'm thinking I should actually like buy a copy because I haven't thought about that book in like not like 10 years or anything, but I haven't thought of it in a while. Speaking of that, I know you're on Twitter and I'm on Twitter. Have you seen what Twitter is dunking on? The show that Twitter is dunking on right now?
I have not.
The Good Doctor.
I guess does that tie into the Charlie and Chocolate Factory?
No,
Like with the guy who played Charlie in the new Charlie and Chocolate Factory who plays the good doctor.
really?
Yeah,
Holy shit, I didn't know that. Um, I will say that the Charlie and Chocolate Factory, the remake is darker. The only thing, literally only thing I remember from the original or the remake is Willy Wonka made a chocolate house for a dude, and then the sun came out and it all melted and killed him. That's literally the only thing I remember from that.
Yeah, I just remember like the girl who like turned into Blueberry was the girl who got murked on Bridge to Terabithia.
Dude, holy shit. Yeah, it is the same guy. But it's so awesome seeing like Twitter dunk on it. Like not only discover it, but like dunk on it. Because that is like one crazy ass show. I don't know, man. Like the writing is, I think, just horrible. But I love like the Dr. Han memes. I love like the memes and just people joking about it. I think it's just like really funny. Just being like, this show sucks.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen on Twitter recently is like talking about um like Jamie Foxx apparently is like sick or something, or like no one knows what's going on, but like apparently there's something wrong with Jamie Foxx.
He got a stroke.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, so he's had a stroke in Atlanta. So he's been up here actually.
you go hang out, like what? Go up to me. Don't you know I'm Electro?
The good doctor's on it.
The good, good doctors on it.
I just love
I have to
people.
make sure. We're gonna make sure he's okay. We're gonna protect him.
He's a surgeon. I just love like I don't know people are just starting to like they're posting more and more clips of him like his character just screwing something up. Like there's a surgery scene and he just takes off his mask and starts like spitballing and like getting spit all over the place. It's like open heart
He's
surgery.
like hawking a loogie inside of his body.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's like someone and he says I'm a surgeon in every single scene. Um like he's at a 7-Eleven and there's a robbery going on and he says like no you can't do this I'm a surgeon and the robber misfires and shoots a guy played by Greg Heffley.
No, Zachary Gordon, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. The robber's like man shut up but like misfires and the good doctor like Matrix fucking dodges it and there's Greg Heffley standing right behind him and
R.I.P.
gets a
Greg
bullet.
Heffley.
Yeah, it's just shit like and people are starting to go like I don't think he's a good doctor. I think this is the moment he becomes a bad doctor.
Yeah, you can be like a vigilante, like against the law. He's like actually getting people hurt instead of instead of helping people. He killed Greg Heffley. Who's next?
Yeah, it's just a such a ridiculous show, dude.
I feel like I mean that's what happens with these like dramatization shows. Like it gets like ridiculous and ridiculous. Like watching there was one episode of it was like SWAT, like Los Angeles SWAT, LAPD, and there was like a scene where like there's somebody they took over like a cruise ship, I believe. There's a bunch of people who took over a cruise ship, and like like the LAPD SWAT was like, oh well, it's a good thing we can get over there. We trained, took a whole training course one day with the Navy SEALs, and so like they like took like this weird submarine thing to the boat and all that. And I was like, I'm like, well, I don't know why LAPD SWAT's doing this though, because I don't even think they have jurisdiction in international waters to do this, but they decided to take it upon themselves to go do this ransom. But it's like again, it's like such a stupid like, oh yeah, well we trained like a day with Navy SEALs, so we're good. We can do this.
Um, I love shit. I had something. It was there was one thing that was good doctor related, one thing that was like another dog shit show related. I do love like there's crossovers, like there's Chicago Hospital, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and then there's like a crossover.
They mashed them all into one show. Like I know there's like a person who like played on like like PD where like they mashed her character into like every single one of those shows just because like I think she like was Chicago Med or whatever it was. She's like on like the medical version, like since the medical has to deal with police and has to deal with the fire rescue too. She's like the same character but like two or three different shows.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's kind of cool to me, even though the shows are probably dumb.
Yeah, I guess that's like the 60-year-old version of us getting Sweet Life, like That's the Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. Like that's the that's their version of it. Like, Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana.
There's a scene I saw in Good Doctor where basically he has a girlfriend. Um he eventually like gets her pregnant or something, but there's a scene that was going around where the music starts going bounce, 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 and then he like FaceTimes her and they schedule phone sex.
Meet
That's
meet
like,
gotta meet me at exactly 8 p.m. 8 p.m. We're gonna do this. That's
he's
if
like
only like putting down in a journal.
he's
Hey
like
Alexa, remind me at 3 p.m.
his girlfriend, he's talking to her and he's like, too bad we can't have sex over the phone. It's a physical impossibility. And she's like, actually, and
Actually,
so he gets laid, man. She was a good looking actress, like good doctors is Poland.
it just show. Well, he's a doctor. So it just shows you like you get that degree. It doesn't matter what happens. You could be murdering Greg Heffley all you want, but you're still going to be pulling.
Actually Greg Heffley wasn't the one who got shot. The actor's girlfriend. So the character's girlfriend. So Holly
Oh,
Hayes, she got Holly Heather. What was that character's name?
I don't know.
Greg's girl got shot.
Greg still got shot.
Thanks
This
a
happens.
lot.
Die of a wimpy kid. It's because it was actually Roderick who shot her.
Yeah, thanks a
It was a
lot,
prank
doctor.
gone wrong.
Thanks a lot. Like that's like probably the last page of Diary of a Wimpy Kid is he finally gets a girlfriend, and then they decide to go to 7-Eleven and meet up with the good doctor.
But you don't go to 7-Eleven. You need to go to Wawa, the premier gas station.
I know nothing bad could ever happen at Wawa.
I was disappointed one time. I went to a Wawa in Orlando and I went because usually the bathrooms are prestige inside of a Wawa. Like, I've never seen that. The one I went into, somebody had shoved the whole roll of toilet paper in the toilet, like clogged the toilet with the whole roll, like not even used, is shoved in the toilet.
On
So
the
disappointed.
on the way to Tallahassee to my place, you end up not really a crossroad, but there's like one place I stopped for gas, and there's a raceway on the left side, and just a random gas station on the right. And the left is a really great facility, great bathroom, everything else. The one on the right is the worst ever, man. It's like the bathroom. I've got a picture from a few years ago of like the stalls just closed, and there's a piece of paper on there that says something along the lines of like toilets closed. Someone sharted too hard. Um, it's unrelated, but I've got a story. Now you have Riz, you know.
I'd hope I have. Brooklyn, do I have Riz? Brooklyn said no.
Oh, don't dox her. I'm say New York
Sorry,
City.
New York City. Do I have Riz? She still said no. She said I have zero Riz. I have negative Riz. I'm not the Rizzler.
Well, I think I had a little bit of Riz on Hinge.
Ooh, Riz the Tiger.
Yeah, so oh yeah. So there was this girl who was on there, and yeah, she was nice looking. Like looks don't really matter to me all that much. Maybe a very beautiful looking person, but like I look okay and whatever. Anyway, so um, she says like key to my heart, be Sal Volcano, who's like a stand-up comic. I had to
Sal
Google.
from Impractical Jokers. Sal
Yeah,
Volcano.
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I had to Google him, but she likes a funny guy, and that's who I think I am. A funny guy, not Sal. Um, so I said not to flex too hard, but I do stand up on the side. And later that night, she matched with me, but she didn't say anything. She, basically on Hinge, you have like the opportunity. She didn't. Ball was in my court, so I took the challenge. And I go in my joke book, just look for a really good one. And I say, so I just got back from court and I lost custody of the Xbox. Now I only have an ex-wife.
Plus 100 Riz. You have like 5 million power on Riz of Kingdoms.
Xbox ex-wife. I like that wordplay.
Sometimes jokes, wordplay like that will turn into foreplay, Ryan. So you just keep it up, keep rizzing.
So
Riz the Tiger too.
I got a text back, and she sent me an emoticon. It was like uh, colon backslash. So it was like that emo "don't talk to me" emoticon. You know
I
what I mean?
no, I wasn't privy back in the days of like
It looks
AOL and like
it looks like this.
we like AIM Messenger.
Yeah, yeah. It looks if my fingers are the eyes, this is like the face it makes. Yeah, the
Maybe,
listeners are gonna love this.
maybe maybe yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she didn't like the X part. Maybe she thought you actually had an ex-wife.
Or I don't know. But she sent that and I said, thank you. I'll be here all night. And I was looking for like another joke. But if she took offense to that, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking of saying the one about like transgender bathrooms. It goes something along the lines of like my hometown opened up a gender neutral bathroom. We call it the neighborhood pool. Thinking about saying that, I was thinking about saying the one that goes like a curious George. Curious George is woke. He got a monkey. They made him get a monkey boyfriend. Curious George, more like bi Curious George.
You so do you like did you give her all of them or did you just give her the one? Like you didn't hit her back with like a counter joke?
No,
Like
I
with a
didn't.
1-2 punch?
I was looking for one, and she unmatched.
Oh.
But I had jokes that made fun of like women or made fun of like
I don't know if you want to give on Hinge. I don't know if you want to start off with a joke that makes fun of women to a woman. I think that
the
may put somebody off. I think that may be anti-Riz. I don't think that's where you want to go with that.
but yeah, I didn't get like the girl or whatever.
That's
But
fine. If she doesn't like if she doesn't like your humor like that, then but funny story. So my fiance and I we met on Hinge, and apparently I didn't know this until later on in the relationship. But she said when we talked on Hinge, she thought I wasn't funny.
whoa.
She thought I had no sense of humor. She thought I was just a boring, dull sack of meat. Apparently, I
Hold
think she was
on.
just yeah. She said yeah. That's just it. She used those exact words.
Hold on. City of in New York. Were you trying to be funny? And he was just like, meh. Or like, what do you mean no sense of humor? Like,
Well, what he said. What do you mean no sense of humor? I'm assuming you just meant like by the way I texted, I just wasn't funny. Yeah, yeah. She felt like she could. So she felt like she couldn't tell jokes to me. So I apparently I wasn't funny. So I guess I really threw her off guard when we like had our first like in person date. Then luckily she stayed with me. Um, so
true love.
yeah.
It's nice.
Now I still think she thinks I'm unfunny, but she thinks at this point we're too deep into a relationship for her not to laugh at my jokes because she realizes like at this point she's what? Okay, okay. She
She
said
should
when
join.
she
She
said when
should
has she
join.
ever laughed at my jokes? Okay,
Oh, she should join the podcast. So I could like see who's funnier.
definitely her. She definitely is funnier.
All right,
Is
you're
funnier
fired.
looking.
All right, buddy, you're fired. I'm
Ooh,
sending you into space with RJ.
fine. I'll figure out a way to get back with RJ. I'm not
Well,
sure where he is right now.
RJ gets lonely. Just him alone.
He has some toothpaste. I just like imagine like I just want to like an in memoriam, sorry, of RJ and just like Sarah McLaughlin like you will remember me. Just playing in the background with his like face like black and white out, like R.I.P. R.J. 1998 to 2022,
In
23.
the arms of an angel.
Yeah,
I don't know the
like an
lyrics.
ASPCA commercial, but for RJ.
Yeah. Oh, that you're so right. I've never heard that song like the radio, but anytime, but you'll see ads or PSAs, and that's like the go-to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's like always ASPCA like PETA or like for like 50 cents a day you can feed a starving Africa like child. Like
I was
what are you feeding him for 50 cents a day, huh? Like
I was
what are you giving him?
well,
Like 2 grains of rice and like an extra cricket maybe if you do like 55 cents instead.
hey
Yeah, I
man,
don't
I mean, U.S. currency is so strong overseas, but anyway, I just think of that ad where it's like the PSA, anti-bullying PSA, when like um kids make fun of a kid for no reason, and then a car hits one of them. Have you seen that?
no. I don't remember that. I feel like I would remember that like so you just bullying a kid and just whacked by a car for no reason.
Wait, hold on. Shit, we only have 3 minutes. It's like a 1 minute PSA.
It's like a that gives me very like Capri Suns respect the pouch vibes.
Where is it? The arms of an angel.
Arms of an angel away from here.
It's somewhere. I don't know. You want to do another round of this, or are you like what? What you think?
It depends. Do you have anything else? Because if not, I'll probably get off here. I have to call my dad sometime. But if there's anything you want to like talk about, we can. Or if you want to just go with an outro, we can do that.
Not really. Dude, this like pisses me off. I can't find. There's too many anti-bullying PSAs.
Well, here, if there's too many anti-bullying PSAs, then we need to start making ourselves some pro-bullying PSAs to
Uh,
counteract those. So if we make enough pro-bullying PSAs, and they're going to make enough anti-bullying PSAs, which people will say, well, you probably shouldn't make pro-bullying PSAs, but in the greater good, if we make more pro, they get more anti. So in a way, bullying people will help people not bully people.
big brain move over there. Uh, yeah, basically. Hold on. Where is it?
You got 1 minute and 47 seconds.
It's enough time. It's enough time.
I only need 3.
Yeah, I don't need that much time, but I can find it. It's somewhere on here. One time I played it at work, and people were like, "Bro, what the hell is that?" There's an ad in front of the PSA. Well, this is like the post-credit scene. Well, the rock shop's closed. Roll credits. Post-credit scene.
I got you. I got you. That'll be at the Rock Shop Podcast. Follow me at Ride the Tiger. Thank you to David again and to RJ's disembodied voice. Yeah, that's me, RJ.
It's like the MCU outro. RJ will return.
Yeah, like the Avengers Endgame like things with like whatever it takes. We try to get RJ like not snapped out of reality.
No, dude, I can't find it. Well,
Tune in
RJ
next
will
time.
space.
Tune in next time to the Rock Shop Podcast when Ryan finally finds his bully PSA. Does RG come back from space? Will we record in the next 2 months? Find out next time on Rock Shop Podcast.
I will bully David until I find this PSA.
Okay.
You suck, David.
No, okay. Well,
And
we're
your
starting
hair is
early.
done. You smell. I can smell you from here.
Okay. Okay, you just chill there. I'll start bullying you back.
You couldn't even, dude. I own this.
Like the ant bully,
I
Paul
own this
Giamatti.